So this one's going to be a bit more of a controversial video today, and I don't expect everyone listening to this to agree with me, but I think that schools are inhibiting people from being successful, or at least to take them down an entrepreneurial route. Because I know when I was in school, there was so much work on, building your resume, trying to find a good job, going to university because that's going to get you a better job. And there was probably like a 1 hour class on, entrepreneurship, and it just kind of got brushed over. And anyone who, sort of mentioned they want to be an entrepreneur, they're like, oh, good luck with your little business. And, that's what I've sort of had my whole entire life. But the truth is, it's actually a bit more sinister than the fact that they don't really recognise or teach this in schools. And it all comes from the American schooling system back in the 1920s, I believe, when John D. Rockefeller, who is arguably the richest man to have ever walked this planet, introduced this sort of school system where it would create more workers, essentially more obedient, on-time people. And this is the system that we still see today. So if you look at a comparison of a classroom today compared to then, nothing has changed. And the fact that we've had exponential growth in technology and pretty much every other aspect of life, however, the schooling system has remained the same. And you might be thinking, well, why is this? And it's because of the fact that these big corporations and people who are in charge of companies, they need workers, and they need people that are going to show up on time, they're going to be obedient, and they're going to stay in that job a long time to reduce staff turnover. So although it may not be, they're trying to brainwash you and things like that, but really it is some form of brainwashing. And the thing that you need to remember is that if you look at some of the activities that are rewarded in schools, such as doing homework or, showing up to class on time, these are all things that make a good employee. And the thing is that's really, really damaging to young minds, especially people who are trying to get into business or be an entrepreneur or start their own business, is straight away you're destroying this belief system that's going to allow you to be an entrepreneur. So there's a sort of joke in this industry that you might have heard from Sam Ovens, who I don't think he's exactly joking, but he said there's a difference between entrepreneurs and civilians. And it's the fact that they both have different belief systems. So in school, you're measuring your intelligence based on a test. So you get a score and you'll be like, this is how smart I am, or I'm in, set 1 for class, I'm in set 2, so I'm this smart, I'm in set 3, I'm this smart. And this allows you, creates the concept of a fixed mindset. So a fixed mindset is when you are comparing your intelligence to a set measurement on a test or something like that. I'm as clever, I'm an A student, I'm a B student, I'm a C student. But really, this is absolute bullshit. Because when you go into the real world and you don't use 99% of the stuff you learn at school, this is really not useful at all, but you're still carrying over this fixed mindset. And this is what prevents people from starting a business. So what you need to understand is, at first, if you have this business idea, you're going to think it's stupid, you're never going to think it's work, so you're just going to stick at your job. But the entrepreneurial belief, which would be a growth mindset, which would be defined as, doesn't matter where you start, you just know that all you can do is get better. There's no sort of stationary point for growth or learning. All you can do is you can be shit at it first, but you're going to get better the more you do it. And that is a belief that in the entrepreneurial world is going to make you very successful. Because, for example, when I was starting out with my business, I had this idea and I was like, I've not really got the skills for that, I don't think it's going to work. And I could take that belief and just be like, right, I'm not even going to try because it's not even going to work. But the truth is, you need to have some sort of, almost stupid delusional faith in the fact that, you can make this work. Because really, when you're young and you've not got any skills or anything like that, you're pretty delusional to think you're going to make it work. But you can make it work, and you definitely can, by having a growth mindset. And understanding that it doesn't matter where you begin, it only matters where you finish. So the more work, more experience, more practice you put into something, the better you're going to get. So you might fuck up in the beginning, you might lose clients, you might not be able to deliver results, but at the end of the day, that's just a lesson. And a lot of people, who even do start a business, might give up at this point because they think, oh, well, it actually doesn't work. It does work, it's just you've not done it for long enough and you've not improved enough, because the overall algorithm of life, or what you could say is the evolution model, is to adapt and get better through variation and growth. So if you're not doing these, then if you stop learning once you leave school, you're not developing your skill set, you're not becoming valuable. And at the end of the day, a business is just about exchanging value. That's all it is. At the end of the day, you have something of value that someone wants, they're willing to pay you money for it, in exchange you provide them value. So it doesn't matter what you want to do. You could be a relationship consultant, you could start your own McDonald's franchise, whatever you want to do, it's literally possible, and you just need to wire your beliefs the right way. So first of all, belief number 1, I would say that you need to have, that's very important, is you need to switch from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And the best book you possibly read on this is called Mindset by Carol Dweck. And this literally goes into depth about how this mindset is going to help you achieve. It's about understanding that you can just have whatever you want as long as you're willing to understand that you're going to be pretty crap at first, but you'll get better. Belief number 2, and this is something that I've noticed this correlation myself in life, that a lot of successful people believe in God or are religious. And it's the fact that when you believe in God or some sort of higher power, whatever it is you believe in, this is creating the belief of faith inside you. And once you have the belief of faith, and faith being like, you might not have the result you want now, but you understand that it's coming to you, God's going to give it to you, or your higher power, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, is bringing it to you, and that's going to allow you to be successful. Because when when it's dark days, you can't get results, you can't get clients, you can't make any money. If you understand that it's going to come to you eventually, which it will, and if you stick at it long enough, you're guaranteed to get it pretty much, then faith is one of the best characteristics or beliefs you could possibly have, because it's going to carry you through when times get rough, when you get bored, when you feel like giving up. If you've got faith in something bigger than you, then you're going to keep going. And if you think about it, on an infinite time scale, you are guaranteed to have every possible outcome of your life you could possibly imagine. And, that is the way you should look at it. On a long enough time scale, you can do anything. But, it's not just a time scale where you don't have any control over. It's something you have complete control over, which leads me into my next belief. So what I used to hear a lot as a kid, it was like, successful people, they're lucky, the 99% of people fail, or 1 in 6 businesses fail, which I don't know if that's a real statistic. But this is absolute bullshit, because this means that you're looking at life as a coin. So you've got 2 sides, you've got tail and heads, and it's a 50-50 chance you can achieve it. But you are not a coin who is just blindly guided by faith. You're a coin that has a mind, you have arms, so you can influence the result of the coin. And this is what it's like, in life. You have a mind, you can learn, you can get better, you can add skills to it, and you also have control with your physical hands. You can do whatever you want to do. So understand that the odds, they might be against you at the beginning, but you have control of the odds. The more you work on it, the more the odds are going to come in your favour. And there's a weird phenomenon that I've noticed. Phenomenon, is that how you say it? I think so. And it's the fact that luck seems to grip the people that are willing to put the work in, or willing to just keep going and not give up. So what I've experienced, at the beginning when you're struggling, it feels like everything's going wrong. But when you get that first client, the second one comes, and then once you've got the third one, the next one comes, and you begin to feel very lucky. And it's the fact that you're aligning yourself with that path, with a path that's going to take you on that. And whether you believe in the law of attraction or anything like that, it actually is true to an extent, but it's not exactly true to the extent that you might read in The Secret, even though, I used to follow it blindly like the Bible. But what The Secret is trying to say with the law of attraction is to create the belief, because once you have the belief, you're willing to take the action, and once you take the action, you can get the result. But if you don't have the belief in the first place, then you're never even going to start, or you're never going to do anything. So it is so important that what it's saying in that book is true. You need to build the belief systems, and you can do that through affirmations, which you repeat to yourself every day, which I do, and it genuinely works. It does genuinely work, and you can see the results in your life. It might take a week, it might take a 2, it might take a few days for you, but doing affirmations in the mirror, beliefs you want to have about yourself, or usually what your biggest fear is, confirm to yourself the exact opposite. So for example, if you were scared of cold calling people, you might say in your affirmations, I find it easy and I'm confident on the phone when I speak to my clients. And this is going to help you to actually form that actual skill and that belief, because when you have that belief, you'll go and do it. So another important tip I want to give is the fact that what we see in life is usually in fractal patterns. So what I mean by this is, say for example, if you look at a tree branch, and a tree branch sort of goes off and off, and it repeats the same pattern. So if you were to look at that on scale, and it would be a never-ending pattern. And this is pretty much what we see with life. So if you get 3 clients, that usually represents a larger market. So the experience you might have speaking to 3 clients in sales calls, and you close all 3 of them clients, you're likely to see similar characteristics in the overall market when you grow. So what you need to understand is, once you just get your leg in the door, get them first few clients, you've pretty much, you're 90% of the way, because you've got the skills, you've got the belief system, and you understand that you're going to see similar results as you scale. So just understand that, not everything in life is linear, especially with, success in business. Pretty much, I don't know what the actual graph's called, but it looks something like this, where it's flat for a long time and then it just exponentially shoots up. And that's what you see with a lot of sort of billionaires' wealth as well. So understand that you're not going to get it in a straight line like this. Success isn't going to be easy, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But understand that if you just keep putting the work in, it's going to pay off, and then you're going to have everyone you should know saying, how are you this overnight success, but they don't see the years of work you put behind it. So if I can leave you one thing, just make sure you get your beliefs in place. And a good way to start this is by doing affirmations. And if you need any tips on that, reach out to me. You can follow me on Instagram and, drop me a DM and I'll be happy to give you some advice. So thanks for watching. I'll be dropping 2 more videos every week. So if you like this content, like and subscribe.